Hi, and welcome back to Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. I'm your craft host, Van. In today's process video, I'll show you how I cover the back of my altered notebook using just standard scrapbook paper. Here you'll see that I've inserted wax paper in between the cover and the back pages just to ensure that the glue that I'm using, which is Elmer's glue, doesn't leak onto the pages, which will create stuck pages, obviously. Now, as you see, I have applied a generous amount of Elmer's glue. You can use anything that will adhere paper to paper. You want to be sure to avoid the spine unless you're going to cover it with something else. I'll just be honest with you, paper isn't really a good cover for the spine because it does bend and you usually open and close it. So I would avoid that area. The next step, I just gently lay the scrapbook paper on top of the glue, being careful to line it up with the spine of the notebook. And then I use a standard credit card or a gift card, something that I can help seal the paper into the glue and get a good adhesion. Now, if you notice here, you'll see where the edges are. Once this dries, you can use a nail file or a sanding block or sandpaper to remove the excess, it helps because it doesn't require you to be precise with cutting. So if you like a shabby look or a distressed look, that's a great technique. In this next step, what you see me doing is, this is the part of during each week when I do an entry. There's an entry on one side where I jot down notes from the devotional that I read from Grace for the Moment, and on the opposite side I just doodle or add some embellishments or some type of inspirational art. For this page, I chose to use a spring colored scrapbook paper, and I'm just using Eileen's tacky glue, and I'm gonna put down some one-sided scrapbook paper from out of my stash. I'm not going out finding anything new. You can do whatever you want to the inside. Some people prefer a minimalist look. Some people like distressed ink. I'm using whatever I have on hand, and in this case, my son and I, we were playing around with watercolor paints, very inexpensive Crayola watercolor paints, and I came up with this while I was testing it, this rainbow look on a regular sheet of paper, copy print paper. So you see it's a little wrinkly, a little wavy because it's not watercolor paper. So with that, I simply wrote the word hello, put a heart on it, and a little bit of doodling. And that's the center focus for that day's devotional. Now, as you notice here, I am removing the excess of scrapbook paper from that page. And I'm not going to throw it out. I'm actually going to use it for the opposite side where I actually wrote down notes for the devotional. In those scrap pieces along with washi tape, you'll see that I will just create a different two-page spread on this particular day's entry. It's how I felt for the moment, it's how I felt for the day, and I felt that it complemented the message that I wrote. So I'm gonna just let you guys see the rest of this, and I'll let the music play. So the last thing that you'll see here is me adding a few finishing touches and embellishments to the 2 pages. One of which is stickers. I love adding stickers. It adds a different dimension, especially if they're 3-dimensionals or puffy like the ones that I've chosen today are. And then I'll also just add a few more scrap pieces of paper to the opposite page. And that's pretty much it. So I hope that you enjoyed watching me put together this entry for my journal. I hope it inspired you to create one for yourself. And until we see one another again here on YouTube, stay encouraged, stay blessed, and stay creative in crafting. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to receive notifications for future videos, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Take care.